Hey, honey.
And we're back.
How's it going?
It's going.
Ugh. So are we going to call this a twofer?
No.
Okay.
We're just going to have to explain.
Alright.
So once again, we watched another Harry Potter movie.
Yes, The Prisoner of Azkaban.
And it continued the story.
Mm-hmm.
There just wasn't a lot to talk about.
I think we could have gotten like 3/4 of the way, but we would have needed a third person.
Yeah. So...
And we didn't have that today.
Right. Well, we watched it.
Mm-hmm.
My main opinion is, once again, I don't see the point of the other houses besides
besides Gryffindor and Slytherin?
Yes.
You don't understand the need for Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw?
Yes.
Because...
They didn't even exist in that movie.
There was hardly Slytherin in...
Well, there was Malfoy,
yeah,
because he's an asshole.
Yeah, there's Malfoy, and there's Snape, who's the house leader.
Yeah, except for Snape's more of a teacher than...
He's still house leader, so he's going to exhibit a obvious bias towards Slytherin.
But there wasn't even a need for that in this one. It was just Malfoy being an ass.
Yeah.
So, that's the beginning and end of that conversation. So as we watch the movies, if we can make an episode out of them, we will. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we will watch them, give a small recap, such as this,
Yep.
and then move on to another movie.
So what you're saying is, when we get to Goblet of Fire, we do need a third or fourth person.
I don't know what that means.
The next Harry Potter movie is Goblet of Fire.
And it's significant enough that we need somebody else to watch it with us?
Well, if we're going to do a whole episode on it.
I don't care if we do a whole episode on it or not. We can just do updates. There's lots of movies.
This is true.
So, we really do not need to dedicate 10 episodes to Harry Potter.
That's okay, because there are only 8 movies.
Shut up.
Anyway, so in lieu of recording a whole episode on Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, we watched Children of Men from the same director.
I was going to say, and you picked that because...
A year later, because it was the same director. And it was, oh shit, I wanted to watch this for the show.
Okay.
I had seen this 2007-ish?
How old is it? When did it come out?
It came out in 2006, so it's just past our threshold.
Okay. I find it completely reasonable that God would smite human beings by not letting us have more children.
See, I wonder, is that... I wouldn't view that as a punishment.
Except for how many religions do you know are...
Be fruitful and multiply?
Yes.
Too goddamn many of them.
Right. So if you were going to smite the population, how about literally smiting the population?
That's not what smite means.
Smote?
Yeah, smote is the past tense of to smite.
Yes.
Which means, I believe, a brutal physical murder. And not just preventing... Anyway, we're getting into semantics.
Well...
Anyway...
I see making human beings unable to procreate.
Yeah, they never really defined why it was that they stopped having babies.
No.
And that is something that I appreciated. Just, you kind of like,
strike with a firm blow?
Yeah. Physical violence.
Yes.
So like the first thing that comes to mind, strangely, is the George Romero zombie movies, Night of the Living Dead,
Okay.
Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, that kind of stuff, where there are zombies. They never ever explain how it is or why it is, because that's less important. That there are fucking zombies out there trying to kill us.
Right.
And in here it's people are barren. Because it doesn't matter. People are barren, and also there's a lot of war going on. And I feel like that took a center stage. The violence took a center stage.
There's something to be said about going to war and that sort of thing and not having replacement soldiers.
Right.
There is a finite amount of resources.
Cannon fodder.
Right.
Resources. Human resources? Not that kind of human resource.
Not that kind of human resources. But, there, in some of the war-torn regions where they have child soldiers, it's because they've pretty much run out of adults.
Right.
And this is sort of the opposite of that.
They've run out of children.
They don't have children, but they also don't have anybody to replace them. So once you don't have backup.
Right.
Which also means that the war itself can only go on for so long because you will eventually run out of people.
Yep. Or even just people willing to fight. Which we didn't see here, because, the fishes, which Julianne Moore et al.'s group,
Right.
who I'm sad she wasn't in more of this movie.
Yes.
I'm not sad that, spoilers, her character gets killed, because I think her character's death serves the story.
Yes.
I'm sad she wasn't in more of it, because I think Julianne Moore is a phenomenal actress.
Okay.
Yeah, the fishes are, they're a domestic terror group. They're a violent refugee rights group.
I don't think there isn't a portion of the population that isn't volatile.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's the bad guy?
Yes.
Literally everyone is the bad guy.
Yes. You have the haves and the have-nots. You have the wants. You have the want-nots.
Mm-hmm.
You have refugees who literally have nowhere else to go. Mm-hmm. And
who are just being brutally murdered by a military regime.
Yes, but what is weird or interesting for me is it's just people that can't procreate. Mm-hmm. Because there are animals everywhere. Mm-hmm. So there is an abundance of food.
Right.
Plants are growing.
Yep.
Animals are reproducing. Mm-hmm. So,
I think they touched a little bit on that with the fields of burnt cattle.
Yeah.
Because there's not that many people left to eat it.
Right.
And they mentioned something about, cutting off cow tits.
Oh, that's just because the machine only has 4 prongs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She was explaining it's because the machine only has 4 hookups, so you don't want it to waste in the 5th and 6th udder.
5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th?
They usually only have 6.
Oh. I thought it was 8. Whatever. I don't
know.
I don't know shit about cows.
Moo.
Don't they only have 1 calf at a time?
Yeah.
What? Okay, whatever. See, I'm thinking about this from an engineering standpoint. And
women have 2 boobs, and they usually only have 1 kid at a time.
Usually, this is true. I'm saying that is a design flaw.
No.
It was clearly not designed by someone with any kind of intelligence.
It takes time to refill.
I know.
Each udder sack.
I thought the udder was kind of
big old bag?
Yeah,
No.
one nipple feeds all.
No.
It's all drawing from the same well?
No.
Okay. That's not how that works. Alright.
No, because you can get infection in one udder and not have it affect the other.
Okay. Thank you for that the animal husbandry bit of trivia there.
It's my job.
Was your job.
It was my job.
I am glad to know that now. Cats have 8 nipples. That's what I was thinking.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But there was an abundance of cats and dogs and sheep and cows. Mm-hmm. So it... Yeah, that...
Well, and it also reminded me a little bit of... specifically the infertility portions. Reminded me of Handmaid's Tale. Where, again, we have humanity that can't procreate. Babies just aren't being born. Mm-hmm. And it never gets explained in the book.
Yeah.
well, in the book proper, in the epilogue, it's like, oh yeah, we kind of figured it out several hundred years after the fact.
Right. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. So, what did you think of Children of Men?
The movie?
Yeah.
I hate the way it ended.
Because it just ended?
Because it just ended, and I hate that. I hate that. I don't know. I wish there was a better explanation, I guess, of what happened with Julianne Moore's resistance group. And why, I guess I don't understand why they all of a sudden became the bad guys.
People who weren't Julian, who's Julianne Moore's character.
Right.
In the Fishes, decided at some point behind her back to use Key and pregnancy as a political chip.
Okay.
So they could use that to their own ends. Like, no, we're getting her out of here because that's the right thing to do. And that's why she was killed. By people who thought they had a better plan.
Julianne Moore was not killed by the Fishes.
Yeah, she was.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was.
No, she wasn't. She was shot when they were attacked.
By fishes. It was a coup.
I guess I didn't get that.
When he was sneaking outside in his socks and heard Luke talking with one of the guys on the who were on the motorcycles about it. It's like, don't ever break protocol again, or I will kill you.
Oh, they weren't supposed to come back to the house, and that way they weren't supposed to know it was them?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I missed that.
I think they were just gonna slit her throat, and then
so
it's
they shot her.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, and don't worry about this Theo guy. We'll kill him tomorrow. Oh. And that's why he's like, we need to get the fuck out right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone else is the bad guy.
Everybody's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Even the good guy was bad. The only innocent one was the girl.
Yeah. I mean, Theo seemed to be the one who was consistently trying to do what was right for somebody else.
Well, only once he realized that...
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I could see how, no, we need to go because they're going to murder me.
Yes.
And then it's... So you take, the political chip.
Yeah.
Your bargain. It's like, okay, bargain, what are we going to do? Because I'm, getting murdered tomorrow morning is not high on my list of things to do.
But, I think it was once Julianne Moore's character died that he realized he was part of something bigger.
Yeah.
But until then, he was just kind of going along with what...
Well, and, he even said, you could probably find these passport papers easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I trust you. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And everyone that, he seems to build a meaningful relationship with dies.
You mean the two people?
The few people.
Yeah.
So yeah, his ex-wife gets murdered right in front of him.
Yes.
Literally in front of him.
Yes.
Their child 20 years ago died.
For whatever reason.
Well, because of the flu epidemic pandemic? That took place right before the infertility, so maybe that's what it was?
Right.
It's never a concrete definition.
Right.
Michael Caine.
Now, is Michael Caine his dad?
No, I think
her dad?
No, I think it was just a friend.
Okay.
I'm not certain. I think they're just an old friend.
Right.
Maybe they were part of the same political activists from the early aughts,
right?
Mid aughts.
At the start of the
at the start of the story, well before any of the film takes place.
Yeah.
So he gets murdered in front of him.
Yeah, I did not like that at all.
It's so, it kind of at a certain point, anyone this guy knows is going to get killed.
Yeah.
Like, bad shit is happening to them. And...
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. That he seemed important to the story.
Theo?
Mm-hmm. Not Theo.
Oh.
Sir.
Oh, yeah. Sir Michael Caine.
That guy. He's funny.
Yeah. Like, I get to smoke pot and fart.
Yeah.
And I get to have long hair. Like, I loved him in this.
I just wouldn't picture him as a hippie, and he did it so well.
Right?
So, yeah. Definitely a keeper. I don't know. It's violent. Was it an indie film? Was it mainstream? I don't remember anything about it. Like, hearing anything about it, knowing anything about it, but that doesn't mean anything.
I remember hearing about it, and I can kind of remember some, like, TV ads for it. And it looked like it was supposed to be kind of an action drama film.
Huh.
So the marketing people clearly hadn't seen the movie.
Right.
I'm like, oh, there's going to be lots of explosions and violence? Cool, that's what I'm into. And then you see it like, oh, this is consequential violence.
Right.
This isn't explosions for funsies. This is explosions for plot and story, and I feel a little weird about it.
The tagline is "No children, no future, no hope."
Yeah.
Seems
I
legit.
mean, that's kind of how I live my life.
You're a dork.
I know. You're a dork.
True facts.
Oh.
So. Hey.
What?
Has the guy from Doctor Strange in it?
Which guy from Doctor Strange?
I don't know how to say his name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm bad with it, too.
Don't make me butcher his name.
I'll give it a shot.
No.
Okay.
And he was also in...
Serenity?
Serenity.
Yes. I mean, like, you look at the Amazon cast page for where we rented this, and it was... I think Julianne Moore gets top billing.
Yeah.
And we drink for her, because it's fucking Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
Clive Owen, who I don't think we can drink for, because I think he's on the cover.
Yes.
The guy whose name you're not saying.
Nope.
Michael Caine, and, like, Charlie Hunnam, who I think is kind of that Rising Star stuff.
Oh.
He was in, like, Pacific Rim, which put him on the map. And,
Oh, was he one of the dreadlocked guys?
Yeah, he was one of the fishes. I believe he was the dreadlock.
Okay.
The dreadlocks on the white guy.
Yep.
And there's plenty to say about that another time.
True facts. Yeah, there's not a lot of people in this movie. I mean, there's a lot of people in this movie, but not a lot of drinking in this movie.
Well, I think what they were trying to do was cast some unknowns, so it wouldn't be so look at the stars.
Right.
But still, you've got like Julianne Moore, Michael Caine, who aren't exactly character actors.
Right. He's been in not a lot of stuff.
Was she in much before this or after?
She was in one thing before this.
Okay.
She's done a couple of things. She's currently in Shots Fired, which is a new show on Fox.
Oh.
She's in at least 10 episodes.
Okay.
So.
Well, that might be worth watching. I mean, I liked her in this. I think that, like, casting an unknown for that role...
Makes sense.
Yeah, because instead of... I think we've discussed this before. Instead of seeing the actor or actress, you see the character.
Right.
That shines through.
Because I mean, like, animatronic baby that was gross.
That was a CG baby. Well, like, look at the way...
It's not a CG baby.
It was a CG baby.
That was not a CG baby.
It was a CG baby.
They have dolls...
It's in the trivia. It's a CG
gross.
baby.
That's even worse.
Anyway.
Gross.
Like, we talk about, like, oh, Julianne Moore and not Julian, or Clive Owen instead of Theo. She's just Key.
Yeah.
Like, what was Michael Caine's name in this movie?
Jasper.
Oh. Okay, it was Jasper, I guess. Whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
I knew. I don't want to watch this movie again.
That's fair. Was it a good movie?
It was... Yeah. Yeah. I just hated the ending, and I will continue to hate the ending, so... I hate abrupt endings. I like things wrapped up. I want to make sure that the people on the boat are actually good people and are going to take care of that baby, which we don't know.
That's true.
We don't know. It could have been pirates.
Could have been. To that point, I say that I think this movie is kind of told in a... from Theo's point of view. So, like, once it cuts to black and it's Children of Men, like, he's dead. Spoilers. Like that, like he's just...
Shane dies at the end.
No, he doesn't. Like that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Like he has no more story to tell.
Yeah.
He doesn't know why, like, you know, babies aren't being born, so he doesn't really think about it.
Yeah.
So it's, I suppose, third person limited is the perspective here.
Alrighty.
And I would watch this again, but not, like, soon.
No, it's a little too, minus the whole no baby part, close to real.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe there will be a sweeping infertility epidemic.
Oh well. I don't like children.
Neither do I. Does this pass the Bechdel?
Yes.
Because there are, like...
They don't ever talk about boys.
That's true. I mean, we've got Julian and Key and Marion?
Yes.
Miriam? They talk
But
about
Key
stuff.
and Marion talk about stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So.
I would say it's pretty diverse. Mm-hmm. There were several super prominent roles for black people.
Yeah.
That, like, weren't caricatures. It wasn't, I am my race, it's I am a person who is black.
Right.
Like Key.
Well, except for, I mean, it was brought up in the, and rightfully so, they're not going to pay attention to...
A Fuji baby?
A refugee baby.
Yeah. I believe they were referred to as Fujis.
Oh, I thought that's where she was from.
No, it's Fiji.
Shut up.
Do we need to go into a conversation about the Fujis? And I'm not talking about Killing You Softly with my song? Because... we'll cut it there.